What's up, Bass Munitions? Hey, I meant to call you yesterday. I'm sorry. Hey, we had a great time. The wife and everybody had a great time at the cookout last Wednesday. What's up, Steve? What is going on, Steven? All right, guys. What's up, Alpha? I'm doing well. Doing pretty good. What's going on, Rich? Hey, guys, listen. I was just super bored sitting around. As you can see, you know, my tackle room is in disarray. You know, you can see that mess. So I didn't have nobody to talk to. And I thought while I was cleaning up tackle, you know, I'd talk to you about rods and reels and the different baits that I've been using, you know, this past spring. And, you know, we can just shoot the shizzo for sure. What's up, Country Girl Fishing? Thank you very much. Country Girl is one of those, I hate to even use the term lady angler. She's an angler, and she just so happens to be a lady. So, but she's a good stick, man. It's good to see her out there ripping the females, showing them how to do it, kicking us guys' arses. So, for all of you that, you know, have a problem with adult beverages, I will be drinking those while we do this. I'm off today. I work hard. I'm an adult, not an alcoholic. So don't lay your problems on me. And I enjoy a good cold beer. All that being said, greetings from Kansas. What up, Kansas? Why'd you let that tornado get Dorothy? Daggone you. No, I'm kidding. Probably should have let it get her twice. Possibly on my next 7 days, which will be the 18th through whatever that is when I get those off. I tell you what, for the fishing, for the $100,000 fish, I will not be one of them, because you will probably just be able to walk across the boats from one side to the other. I'm a network guy. I'm a computer geek, hence the Bass Geek thing. That's what I do for a living. What do you do for a living? Dodge Ram Max Wax? What is that? Yeah, Dodge Ram Wax. What do you do for a living? I ask you. Porn star? Bravo, if so. You gonna be on South Holston this weekend? You gonna send me all your waypoints? You know, help a geek out. I'm kidding. Alpha Fishing Team. Where's Walter? That's a good one. Listen, my deal would be if I was going to be out there. Yeah, hell yes, Shane. Yeehaw 80, baby. Yeehaw! That ain't really the right way. I guess it's more of a yeehaw! There we go. I had to channel that inner redneck. I agree. 80, Yeehaw 80 is my favorite beer. It's a darker beer. It's not like an IPA. It's got more of the coffee taste to it. It's kind of what I like. Oh, you're a boss man. Are you the man that's got your thumb on everybody? Come on now. Dodge. I'm just playing with you. Most of Kansas. That's awesome. It's a lot of responsibility. You probably need a beer. Of course, it's probably a Monday for you. I'm off today. I work swing shifts, 12-hour swing shifts. This is the only day I've got off this week, and I've got to get this wreck of a room clean. So, you know, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna be, you know, going through some rods and stuff. So I've got my computer up. I got you on the phone so I can actually carry you around with me a little bit. Drop shot. And I'll tell you what, Alpha Angler, but, you know, so we can talk about some of these reels and stuff, because I've got a bunch of rods and reels that I kind of got to get in organized. I got to put some line on some, and, you know, this, that, and the other. So we'll just talk, and I'll tell you about the combos that I'm using, why I'm using them, how I'm trying them, blah, blah, blah. 12 years at Cabela's. I understand that, man. I started a family super young. I'm 47, so I'm an old fart. But me and my wife got pregnant our senior year in high school. So we've been married 26 years. She is absolutely the love of my life. I can't tell you, you know, I know I'm not doing any better than that, okay? If y'all seen that live stream the other day, she didn't even have makeup on. She's going to slap me down like the bad husband I am just for saying this stuff. Didn't have her hair fixed, but she is a hot little redhead who keeps me in line and has kept me in line my entire life, to a certain extent. But she's a sweetheart. I like Michelob. I like, what's the Michelob? Amberbach. Is that right, country girl? Yeah, I'm going to tell you, if I was going to, you know, alpha fishing team, if I was going to fish, Dunkel is great. I'll tell you what, Dunkel, Yeehaw Dunkel, is basically the 80. It's a darker version of the 80. The 80 is just a little bit lighter, so when you want to, you know, maybe have a few more beers and not feel bloated as can be, the 80 is basically that. It's a lighter version of that, in my opinion. But if... you know, Alpha Angler, if I was going to be on South Holston looking for old Walter 2.0, I'll tell you right now, I've got, hold on. I've got to answer this question. I'm trying to answer this question 3 times. You know, if I was going to fish for old Walter on South Holston, which is really my home lake, it would probably, I'll tell you what, I'd see if I couldn't get my hands on some trout minnows. And that's, I'd have every daggone hole I could mount a rod to and just troll around, you know, hit different spots. Because it doesn't have to be, you know, artificial lures. It can be live bait. It's just got to be with a rod and a reel. There's no rules on how many rods and reels you can hang off your boat. Man, I can't do twisted tea. I like beer flavored beer, okay? I'm a beer guy. Like, I'm one of those guys that, you know, I've probably been drinking beer since I was 14. I'm not the example you want to set for your children. But I've been drinking beer so long. My non-bloat beer is Miller Lite. There we go. Drink Miller Lite. It's the way to go. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get started, guys. So I'm going to walk around a little bit. Y'all going to see some stuff. You might see me yell at my wife's cats because they try to get in here. And for whatever reason, if anybody can explain this to me, why does a cat want to floss with fishing line? Do you know how many lures I've cast off because my well, not mine. Let me restate that. My wife's cats will get to my rods and reels, and they'll sit there and do this, and then I cast it off, and it breaks with like 8 foot of line on it. I hate these cats, man. I'm not an animal person in general. It's not that I don't like animals. I don't like the responsibility of animals. Really, the only, you know, I mean, I can barely take care of me. I mean, so you know, hence is why I've got a happy marriage, I guess, because, you know, I'm a big enough baby that my wife takes enough care of me that she loves me. But 10 Dixie Custom ready to troll. There you go. That's exactly what I'd be thinking about. Oh, Country Girl. Crown and Coke. I like Jack and Coke. I'm a little more of a Jack fan. Crown is a little bit watered down for me. Crown and Maker's Mark is my bourbon and whiskey. So. "12 years in fishing and marine department." That's pretty cool. Dodger. All right, guys, y'all. Again, any questions? I'm going to be on here for a while. So the first thing I'm going to do to get this room back in shape is I'm going to start out by separating out my rods and reels and seeing what I've got, you know, tied on, what needs to be cut off, what needs to be retied. And I got a couple of rods that need line on them. So, you know, I'll show you kind of how I'm going to back my reels with braid and then put the main line on. So let's start. Let me stand up. You can see my big belly, my beer belly. All right, hopefully you guys can see me. So the very first thing, I got these the other day. I'm telling you guys, here's something that you might want to look into. Now these are a little bit smaller than what I've had in the past, but I really do like these. Not necessarily the white, but these bad boys right here. You can go on Amazon. I've actually got a link in my description. I'm not sponsored by these people, but I just put a link on. You can actually, these go over glasses, so if you wear glasses or whatever. But I'm telling you, AJ, my partner, I let him use my old pair. Now they make a little bigger pair. I'll show you the difference. These are a little wider. They're a little more expensive. They still make these. But I will tell you what, on those rainy days, these don't fog. These are ski goggles. So when it's cold, they don't fog. So I ordered me a new pair of them. And I ordered a pair, and I haven't even caught him. So Tim, if you're seeing this, my buddy with Ledgehead, I did order him a pair of these too. So, all right, I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Come on, we're going into the closet. So the very first thing you'll learn, I come in and out of the closet every once in a while. Oh, that's a bad joke. Anyway, so I'll show you a little something here. I've got some pretty cool organization going in here. Like, okay, you see some of my old jerseys, and these are like just fishing clothes, fishing shirts. I've got to pull these out of here and figure out what's what. But I've got a lot of stuff. So, like right here is like all kinds of just, you know, cold weather fishing gear. So I'm going to put, I don't have really a whole lot in here, so I'm going to put my goggles in this one. And then, you know, I've got just like, you know, spare filming stuff. That one's empty. Let's see. That's like cleaning, rod and reel cleaning stuff. This is not actually a reel, it's just some cleaning stuff. And then, you know, this is just all like spare tools, and, you know, always got to have my, you know, tester. And then that's all like home stuff, like tools and patch stuff, you know, for drywall. But this is all fishing stuff. So there's like filming stuff. Like here's a float pack for my drone, and like this underwater thing that y'all don't care anything about. But here's what's really crazy. That's all old rods and reels. Or, well, not rods, obviously, but reels. It's all old, beat up, ain't working no more reels that I use spare parts off of. Gosh, man, I literally got stuff everywhere. And then, like I said, up here, you know, I got spare cables for my electronics. There's my drone. There's my microphone. Some old books. A spare transducer. And just, you know, cleaning stuff. And, you know, y'all like to be taped up. Hand warmers. So a little bit of everything. But right now, I'm going to put you guys back over here. And see if I missed any questions. I'm going to drag out all those rods and reels that are in there. What's up, Tackle Junkie? I'm just sitting here. Here, let me adjust. I'm just really bored, TJ. I'm just really bored, Jim. And I'm cleaning up this room and showing everybody and having an adult beverage. Yeah! My favorite beer, by the way. What's going on, Bart? Hey, Bart, are you down on Douglas? Did you not tell me that you're home late? Take a drink. I haven't got into it yet. Don't even say it. Well, one day you will. You know, guys, this, you know, this is years. You know, I've been fishing since I've been bass fishing since I was young. So, take a drink. Tackle Junkie said it. You know, guys, one of the things that I love about worms and swim baits is I think the bass like girth. I got to take 2 drinks now. When it comes to soft plastics. All right. Hey, Richard is doing well. He's actually on here right now. Yeah, man, listen, I love those guys. I so wished us three were closer. Man, they're just good dudes. They're the type of dudes that you want to sit around and have take a drink. And they're the type of dudes that you want to sit around and literally have a drink with, and that's what I like about them. Red is good. What did I see? But you know, like I was saying, man, it's been years and years and years, and so the God's honest truth is I collect baits as much as I fish baits. I mean, rods and reels too. Now, I will tell you, when it comes to rods and reels, when you've been fishing for so long, when you've been fishing as long as I have, right now I'm in a situation where, you know, I can't afford the high end rods and reels. But I do like presentation specific rods and reels. And so for me, that means bang for your buck, that $100 rod, $100 reel, that $200 combo, and we'll say to a $400 combo is a stretch for me. Because for me, I would rather have a number of rods and reels right now than I would, the higher end. Now again, it's the thing about rods, reels, baits, the whole thing. It's always a progression. It's always a progression. So once I get everything tweaked out, because I don't want to spend $600 or $800 on a combo and not be absolutely sure of the action and the reel speed that I want. So for me, it's like you're going to see. I've got several topwater rods, several swim bait rods, several Crankbait rods. Those are a lot of things that I do often, and that I like to do, and I've been doing for a long time. And so those are also presentations that I want to be able to present multiple colors with, or multiple sizes, or multiple riggings with. Crankbaits especially, a crankbait, a squarebill, which this is a wake bait, but a squarebill, for example, is only going to run most of the time 3 to 5 feet. So if I find a good section that that I want to fish a little bit deeper, I see some fish out there, some fish out there in that 8-foot range. Well, I've either got to cut this off and tie on, or I've got to pick up another rod. And so for me, especially being a tournament angler, I would rather pick up another rod. And then on top of that, if I hone in that those fish are on a squarebill, if they're in that 3 to 5 feet range, well, I'm going to want, probably at least 2 to 3 squarebill rods, so that I can go out and have 2 or 3 different colors, sizes, that they, if there's a grouping of fish, they may bite, the pearl bone or whatever color, but they may stop biting that, and get used to seeing that bait run through, and I can pick up a color that's just slightly different and get that group of fish to fire again. So that's how I approach buying rods and reels. That's how I approach buying rods and reels. So what you're going to see as we get into this right now is you're going to see the rods and reels that I am either very specific to, or rods and reels that I'm specific, but I have multiple versions of that single type of action, or I'm trying different types of action to kind of get that honed in to what I want. All right, let's see. Let's see if I'm sticking with, but that's all right, man. Bait casters from Amazon, they work. Yeah, sorry to hear that, by the way, Rich, about your sister passing away. I'll tell you what, man, and I don't want this to frighten anybody off, because my opinion is go get your vaccine. But I'll tell you what, man, I got my first shot the other day, and the second day it put me down. I mean, it was rough. Body aches, freezing. I mean, for a day, it whooped me, no doubt. Yeah, man, I love this. This is not pegboard, which pegboard works just fine. This was a new house, and so my wife wasn't really big on the whole pegboard thing. So this is called slat board. You can find it at a lot of different places. But I like the color of it. It's got that kind of darker color, which gives it sort of a more manly feel. Vintage lures. I don't have a lot of vintage lures, man. If I had them, most of the time, if they were vintage, I was fishing them, and they're probably at the bottom of some lake or hung on some stump somewhere at this point. Big Mike, what'd you message me, brother? How did you message me? That's the next question. Austin, I appreciate it. Say hello to your wife. I try. Sometimes, listen, I'll watch Tackle Junkie, and I'll watch Debo, and I'll tell you, I have been fishing for a long time that I kind of go down the rabbit hole. Now, Tackle Junkie and Debo, man, they really get into, Tackle Junkie, man, he can tell you which bait wobbles the most, you know? And I mean, that's pretty intense, you know. I don't dig in that far. You know, for me, it's all, you know, I kind of, I pay a little bit of attention, but if there's a minuscule version, you know, of leg kick difference from, say, a Bass Munitions to say a Rage Bug, you know, I mean, a beaver is a beaver is a beaver. That's kind of how I go about it. You know, I don't get overly complicated. I try not to, but I do try to dig in. But man, those guys, I've in the live stream the other day, I was sitting there thinking, damn, these guys dig into, you know, to the amount of, you know, wobble a chatterbait has, you know, and I'm just like, you know, maybe I should get back into paying that attention, you know. But the baits I use, I also don't buy a whole lot of different stuff, so I know the stuff that I know. Yeah. That I was thinking, Bart, by the way, that you was on Douglas. Me and you need to hook up and do a video on Douglas one day. But I just don't get into it that deep. I try to keep things a little more simple, if that's possible. Second shot for me had me call out of work. Better that's so insane. Hey, what's going on, Gary McKay? Dave, you collect vintage lures? That's pretty cool. I just collect them all. As you can tell behind me. On Messenger, on Facebook Messenger. Well, hit me again, Big Mike. It may have went into the new, and I didn't know. If you've got an Instagram, hit me there. Now, something I'm going to do, guys, as we get into the summer, is if I'm going to a lake to film a video, I'm going to post it on Instagram and Facebook a few days before. And if you guys want to go fishing with me, I mean, I'm going. So I'm just going to say, hey, meet me at the boat ramp. Now, I will say, because I don't want 30 guys meeting me at the boat ramp, you know, I'll have you say something in the comments, and I'll pick one of you, and we'll just go fishing, man. If you're in that area, we'll just go. You know, you can load up and go with me. Now, I'm not going to promise you we're going to catch nothing. We might ride around all day, you know, graphing and throwing swim baits, and it might be a really crappy day. So no guarantees, but you know, hopefully you'll learn a lot about graphs and fish setup. You know, sometimes they bite, sometimes they don't. So don't get your hopes up that we're going to go out there and just clock a bunch of fish. Mr. Trevor Wagner. Yeah, man, I'm just me. You know, like I said, I'm 47, and, you know, I'm too old to change who I am. So, you know, you like my videos or you don't. You know, for me, I make the videos that I like to watch and that I like to make, and that just is what it is. So, what's up, Bill? What's up, JF? Is that short for Jeff? Montreal, what is going on, my brother? What's going on? And, you know, that's the other thing, Austin. You know, I would like to come up and fish Michigan. So, you know, I mean, the good thing is I actually get, for the most part, if I don't have to work for somebody else, I get 7 days off every single month. So, you know, the thing of it is, oh, yeah, that's, you know, but, so the thing of it is, you know, I plan on making a trip. That's the whole reason I bought the new trailer, was because, you know, I want to get out and I want to fish some other places and not worry about, you know, my boat passing my truck as I'm going down the interstate. Yeah, there's going to be way too many people for me to be out on the lake fishing for Walter. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I know. Not much cleaning getting done. I know. I know, Joseph. I was worried about this. It's going good. I'm just going to call you bad. It's going good. Yeah, I'm off today. I've got to be cleaning this up and actually getting this stuff done. What is going on, Callie? Family budget fisherman. What is going on? Well, I appreciate it. I just like to have a good time. Yeah, I'd say you'll probably be showing me stuff on that lake, Bart. You know, country girl, you're gonna slap me down. I'm gonna tell you something. So, I got an offer by Akuma, and they wanted to fly me down. I think the 21st of this month, and we were gonna go film some stuff for their uh, new rods and reels that they're going to release this year at ICAST. And so, as most of you know that watch the channel, I've been trying to get this house finished. So originally I told them yes, and I was dying, man. I'm so excited to go. Going to fish Lake Fork. Going to get out there with some local guys that they know, and I was super excited to go to Texas. And so I ended up having a contractor, kind of the last thing I need to get done to the house, end up calling me and say he was going to be available that week. So I'm not going to get to go. But that sucks. And, I apologize to Akuma 100 times over. It kills me. It was a chance of a lifetime to get to go, and it just sucks that I'm not going to get to. But, the house will be done. That'll be one less thing I got to worry about, and that means that it's one less thing that I've got to deal with, and I can focus on fishing once it's done. So, what is going on, my brother, Mr. Gary Milken in the house? I would love to come down to Toledo, Bend. You'll have to put me up, Brody. I do understand that. Go small or go home. My half-ounce jigs, hold on, I'll actually show it to you. And I may be changing that. I picked up some other rods. It's a little soft. You'll learn one thing about me. I like a little stiffer rod. You gotta be a little slower with a stiffer rod. Because you've got to give the fish time to take the bait. But fishing swim baits on ledges has really taught me kind of to wait till the rod loads, and so it's kind of I've fished before I really discovered before swim baits ever even really come out. Spinner baits, it was the same sort of thing. So you don't swing away. And I think that's why a lot of people are going. Like I've even noticed that a lot of people are now starting to go to a softer tip rod on spinner baits, a softer tip rod on jigs. I mean, you just got to learn patience, man. I like a rod. I like a stiffer, faster tip rod because for me, I want to feel every nook and cranny on the bottom. And when you start getting into those parabolics, you don't feel that. It dampens the feel. And so, is what it is. Thank you, Lorena. I appreciate it. And we had a great time, man. We got to do it again. We got to do it again once I get the pool running. Yeah, the fly zapper. Oh, man. Sorry, Mike. I appreciate you stopping in, though. Have a good night at work, brother. I am still wearing solar back glasses. I've actually got 3 pairs in the living room. Come on and I'll show you. All right, I'm going to turn you around here. There they are. Boom, boom, boom. So 3 pairs there. Let's see, hold on. Thank you very much, Jeff. JF. I'm sorry. You know, we were talking about that, Bass Munitions. I don't know. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. I just got a lot to finish up. You guys can see here. Let's see if I can do this. Let me spin you around. You can see out my window. So I've got, you know, my carport, my truck, and there's my wife's Jeep. And you can see, let's see if you can see the mountain in front of the house there. Nice little place. But, you know, Bass Munitions, you know, me and you were talking about that. All right, guys, I've got to get to work on these rods and reels. So you got to bear with me. We were talking about that, and I don't know that they sell just lenses. So you might have to get a whole nother set. So, all right, bear with me, guys. I got to drag stuff out. All right, so just so you know, this is one of the 13 fishing. This is actually one of the sticks. So I'm using this as my second sort of my soft plastic, even though it's got a football jig on it right now. But this is their number 6, by the way. If you guys have not looked into sticks, if you are on a budget, if you are getting started with rods and reels, they have an excellent group of rods and reels that are numbered and tell you exactly the purpose that they have. You can get the entire set. I think it's for $400. It's $500. It's a set of 6 rods. They're $100 a piece, guys. They literally tell you what you can throw on them, and I mean they're top notch quality. This is one I actually use for my flipping. This is their number 6. It's their power stick. It's a 7/6 heavy. It is a moderate fast, but I use it a lot of times for like my soft plastic flipping because I flip a little lighter. Now I will tell you, this is the original Concept Z, and I thus far am not a big fan. I got 20-pound P line on it with 65-pound braid backing. Okay, and I don't know. It's just rough. I've got an LFS on my other rod, which is really a horrible reel to flip with, if you think about it. Now, I love my LFS, my loose, but it's really it don't have the drag that you really need. Now, this is my Dixie Custom. This is my spoon ripper, and so this is a spoon rod. And I've got an old, and I actually have somewhere. So this is one of the rods that you'll see me change out. This is a Dixie Custom spoon ripper. It is actually a 7'5". And so this is one of the rods that we're going to get ready, because in my area it's ledge fishing time. So we're going to get this ready. And oh yes sir, yeehaw beer baby. But we're going to get this one ready. This one will be going into the boat. But I've got a new reel to put on it, and I'll show you that a little bit later. All right, try not to rub these across the ceiling. It's a bad thing to rub them across the ceiling, by the way. So this rod is a 6 gil. It's a creature bait. I don't know why. I've got you guys down here too. This is a 6 gil. Now this is also my a ledge rod. Now this is a I think it's a 7'3". It's a heavy, and it's a little too stiff for skipping. Originally, I wanted to make this my skipping rod. I've got an 8-1. This is a Daiwa. If y'all seen that live stream the other night, this is a Daiwa R-type, which they don't make anymore. And one of the deals with the R-types, one of the problems that I've had is that this side plate tends to come off. The screws loosen. So right now I've got, again, ledge fishing time. I've got a what I call a preacher jig. I don't remember. This is a Cumberland Lures prayer jig. This is a great deep bait. Sometimes I will put a trailer on it. I've had more success actually with a paddle tail on these, like a Kitech style bait. Then I have a lot of people I know have a lot because it's a little more of a finessey presentation. But I also fish these. I power fish these a lot and have a lot of good luck with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bad to run your rod tip into the ceiling. Now this is a rod reel combo that I'm hugely impressed with, and also a combo. And if you guys seen the live stream that me and Debo did and Tackle Junkie the other night, this is my Akuma. This is a Tournament Concepts flipping jig. It is a 7.6, but it is a heavy. And, you know, the one thing about them, they are a little, I know you can't see this, but Akuma tends to be on the softer tip side. But this rod right here is great because I love to throw 3/4 of an ounce during the summertime in a wobble head. And this is one of those rod and reels. This is one of those combos. I've got it on I think a 6.6, but this is one of those combos that it is exclusively for this. It is a wobble head. It will always have a wobble head. And I'm probably going to have to replace the tip of every single rod I have because I just keep rubbing it across the ceiling. I'm going to break the stupid ceramics out of every single one. Now, this is a prime example of what I was talking about earlier when it comes to a lot of people are going to softer rods. This rod is super thick. Like if you looked at it, you'd think, you know, the back is literally, I mean, it's got a huge backbone, but it's a glass composite. So it's a composite rod, and this actually is a Piscifun reel. It's a 6. I don't have a lot of lakes that have grass in them. So for me, I'm throwing a chatterbait around rock and wood most of the time. So a lot of times a lot of people talk about the delay in the hook set, and so this rod is very soft. Now if I was going to throw a chatterbait in a lot of grass, in or around a lot of grass, I'm going to go to a 7 foot to a 7.3 probably even a 7.5, 7.6 medium heavy graphite, because I want to hit them. You know, you just have to learn how to feel the load before you go to swing. When you feel that first thunk, you got to wait a minute. This is softer. It's one of those, you know, it really has a parabolic bend, and I mean the tip is so soft. Well, I can show you actually. The tip is so, it's just so soft. If you guys can see that. For me, I don't like that a lot because, again, I tend to like the, you know, the stiffer rods. So I don't know if I'll stay with this. Dixie makes great rods. I've caught fish on this rod, but it's just personal preference. I don't know that I'll stay with it. And this is actually their Chatterbait rod. So we'll see. We'll see where that kind of goes. But for me, believe it or not, that's actually a rod that's probably going to go back in the closet. We're going to put a cover on it. That's a springtime bait. Now, there are a certain group of chatterbaits that I'm going to use on the ledges, but that rod is by far not rated for them. These are two new Akuma rods. These two rods are going to be ledge rods. This is the, I don't know how to pronounce this, the Akuma Keros, C-E-R-R-O-S. This rod is going to end up being, let's see. This rod, I believe, is going to end up being, it is a medium heavy, and it is a 7-11. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember what I had that set aside for. One of them is going to be in it. Maybe this one. This is a 7-11, 1/4 ounce to 2 ounce. This is a heavy. It's a little stiffer. This one is a tournament concept. I'm actually a big fan of the tournament concept rods. It's quite a bit stiffer. 7-11. This is probably going to be my dedicated Carolina rig rod right here. I can't remember what I got that one for. I do remember what I got this one for. This one is actually going to be my dedicated prayer jig rod. So this rod, the 7.3, I only fish a prayer jig on the ledges, so I want a long rod so I can make a long cast. And the good thing about this is this actually goes down to a 1/4 ounce, and I do fish smaller hair jigs. That's sad when you got so many damn rods you don't remember what it is you're going to use for them. All right, so there's the first bunch I dug out. Let's see any questions I got here. On a softer rod, well, that comes down to the way you're fighting them. If you're keeping them pinned more on a chatterbait or spinnerbait rod when you've got them, for me it's a single hook, okay? And if you look at most, even your small, even if it's a light wire, spinnerbait, even if it's a light wire spinnerbait, generally it's a heavy wire hook. So they're hooks that are thick enough you're not going to bend them out. So the thing of it is, and I tell people this all the time when I'm fishing swim baits, you're not fighting a fish with those baits. A chatterbait, I can look at that chatterbait that I just pulled up to you just a second ago. That hook's heavy. If you bend it out, you're doing something impressive most of the time. And so those fish, the key with a heavier rod when you're fishing with those, wait till you feel the weight, not the tick, and then set the hook side set, keep your rod tip down. A single hook, you need to keep your rod tip down. Okay? You're not flipping. If I'm flipping, I'm up here, I've plowed them, I'm bringing them in, and then I'm boat hopping. Okay? Well, it's the same thing with any sort of single wire heavy gauge hook. All right? Chatterbait, spinnerbait, you are setting the hook and you're putting the rod tip in the water and you're cranking them in. If you're playing them, you're screwed. You're going to lose them. Because you're right. If you want to play fish, if you want to fight fish, get a light hook or a rod with a little softer tip. Me, I'm going to put fish in the boat. They're coming in the boat. I'm going to boat hop them. I don't even like to play them. If I've got a single hook, I don't even like to play them beside the boat while my buddy gets the net. If by the time they get there, he can't have the net under them, then I got a problem with him. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't want to fight that fish. A single hook bait, you put them in the boat. And if your buddy can't get the net, you slap him upside the head with a bait and with a fish. Slap the piss out of him. He's an idiot. You know what that means, don't you? It's beer 30. All right, let's dig out some more rods. Because like I said, I got to get this stuff done. Okay. Man, that's an old one. That is a Shimano Sierra. Probably it's, the stuff has wore off of it. Look, the side plate's missing. And a Twilight. A Halo Twilight. Now, this thing is old. 7 foot, medium, heavy. Throw a little heavier gear on this one. Now right here's something that I know you guys don't think a whole lot about, but I'm going to tell you. We're going to do a video on it. I did a video on it last year where we were catching fish, suspended fish on the ledges on a spy bait. And so this is my spy bait rod. This is actually a Tatula, 7 foot, medium heavy. And this is one of my favorite lose rods, the Crush rod. I think it's right at like $100, or reel, sorry, Crush reel, right at $100 reel. Love the Tatula. And as always, guys, so I don't mind rubbing this one across the ceiling, because as you can see, guys, there is a discount and a code in the bottom. And if you could see them, there's a ton of them over there, and I've got to get them on there. I put these on when I've got them in my boat. But this is the TRC covers, guys, and I'm telling you, I truly believe in them. I have now used them for 3 years, 4 years, and I'm telling you, I don't break rods when I'm getting them in and out of my boat. I don't break them. So I am extremely happy about that. This is another Sticks. This is their number 4. And let's see what I'm using this for. This I've got set as a multi-use rod and reel. So this is, let's see what it is. Like I said, this is their number 4. Again, guys, go check out Sticks. I love their whole concept for beginners. It is freaking awesome. And of course, it's got an SLX on it. That's the $100 version. This is the reaction. It's a 7.6 medium heavy moderate. So this can really do a lot of different stuff. It's got a nice soft tip on it. You could throw chatterbaits, you could throw spinnerbaits, you could do a lot of stuff. You could worm fish on this. And that's kind of what this rod is for. For me, it is a multi-use rod and reel. Try not to step on anything. Okay, this is the Akuma. This is the Akuma Psycho Stick. This is the Psycho Stick I did the video on. And so what I'm using this for right now, and I've got it coupled again with my favorite reel from Akuma, which is the Helix Sx. This is a 6-speed, and I use it for shallow or light to mid-depth crankbaits. So that's what I use this Psycho Stick for. It's done a great job. It's a 7'2", and it can handle 1/8 to 5/8 ounces, bait. So it can handle a pretty light bait. But that's what this is. It's a 7'2" medium fast action, and so this is kind of one of my light to medium crankbait combos. So let's set this, since it is one of my crankbait combos, right there. I'm just trying to organize things right now. See what I need to change out, what I need to put on. All right. This is also a sticks rod. Again, I can't tell you how much. You beginners, when you ask what sort of rod should I start out with, go to the Sticks website. I mean, I've got to do a video on this group of rods and reels. They're amazing. I think there's links in the description of most of my videos, but this is their #1. So this is super finesse. I use this for tight lining in the wintertime. Very light baits, very light drop shots, very light Ned rigs. That's what this is going to be used for. I've got it with a 2500 Sierra, an old Shimano Sierra reel. And as always, again, protect your investment, TRC. TRC rod covers. And I got to get this rod in. There we go. Into the tip. So we're going to set, I'm going to set my spinning rods over here because it was a hat. It scared me to death. I don't use a whole lot of spinning rods during the summer. I do a little bit of drop shotting. The good thing about summer for me is that they're all deep, so I get the power fish like I like to fish. Oh, gosh, I hate that. I'm going to break that ceramic out. Now, this is one of my medium. I'm going to throw up to a 6XD on, okay? DT20, the Berkeley dredgers, up to their 20s because they're a small profile bait. This is actually a Joe's Custom Pro. This is their crankbait rod. Now this is, let me see if I get this right. It is an 8-foot, it's called the Monster Crank. So it's a 962. Basically, it's got a great backbone. Guys, this thing will hurl them. And I've got this coupled up with a 5-4-1, I believe that's a 5-4-1, yep. Abu Garcia Aura Winch. So that's what's on this one. This is one of my absolute favorite crank combos. My, say, 15 to 20 plus. I'm not going to throw a 10 XD on here, but up to the 6 and 8 XDs, absolutely. This combo will cast them a country mile. So that's kind of what that is. We're going to set this over here. Another crankbait combo. So that's 2 crankbait combos you guys have seen already. Oh yeah. My next crankbait combo, I told you, I like to crank. This is actually pretty interesting. Y'all going to be tripped out by this one. This is my Squarebill combo. Now, by the way, these, okay, I love these. You can get them on Amazon for super cheap. I do not know that I have a link in the description, but you literally buy them in the bunches. And they are super cheap, but they're well made. I don't know what the name of them. There's some off-brand. But I love them because you can see through them. This is my Squarebill rod. Hey, Tackle Junkie, I got a Squarebill rod. Can you imagine that? And guess what? It's got a Squarebill tied on it. Y'all just have to see. Anyway, but this is, and really a beautiful, I mean, the inlay or whatever you want to call it in the handle, it's beautiful. I don't know if they still make them, but this is a Speed Demon Squarebill crank rod. It's 6'8". It's actually a Cast King rod, and it is a beautiful rod, and it is so good for a Squarebill. Now, it does have a softer tip. You can cast a Squarebill for a mile, but I can run it through all kinds of brush, and I put it with a lose. This is an LFS, just your standard $100 LFS, and this is a 6/8 to 1. I like to be able to truck a Squarebill a little bit quicker. A 7 would work. I like the 6/8. Lose is pretty good with that 6/8 model. But it's a beautiful rod, and it is a great Squarebill rod. I am a big fan of this rod and this combo. Don't get to fish it enough. Maybe if I get up there with Tackle Junkie, we can really put that to work. Uh-oh, I'm stepping on something. So the third crankbait rod that I've got. Oh. So again, I'm just trying to get everything organized, trying to figure out what's going into the boat, in case you guys don't know. Now, you guys have seen this, and this is also one of those rods that is softer, okay? This is a X-glass, Lama glass, whatever you want to call it, half glass, half carbon. But this is also a Dixie custom rod. You need to go check them out if you haven't. This is my Lipless Crankbait Rod. Now, I've got an old, this is a Quantum Energy on here. I do plan on replacing this with either an Akuma or a Lose. I haven't decided yet. I haven't ordered. But I will probably replace this with a Lose, if I'm guessing. I've had this Quantum. It's a 6'3" to 1. I like a slower because, again, I don't have the grass. If I was going to fish these over grass, I'd have a stiffer rod, my lipless. I'd have a stiffer rod, and I would have a faster reel. But since I don't, you know, a big thing around here in the spring, and this rod will probably be put up, is to put it on the bottom and literally just dig that nose into the bottom. That's kind of what we do around here. Again, it is a very soft tip. You can see how big that backbone is. Very thick. I mean, dime, in between dime and nickel size, really. Girth right here. I got to go get a beer so I can take a drink. Take a drink! But You know, it is a 7 foot, and you guys see me catch a lot of fish on this in the spring, especially on Norris. So it is a very nice combo. But I am going to be upgrading this. The Quantum, there's just so much wrong with it. And, you know, I used to be a huge Quantum fan, but there's just so much. It loads to one side no matter what I do. Uh, the brakes aren't great. You know, and I remember at the time, I believe this was $100 or $150 reel. I believe it was $150 reel. And, you know, I'm just unimpressed. I mean, Quantum used to make really good stuff, and I've got an old PT Energy that's made of complete metal, which is basically what this is. This is the PT Energy, but they're crap, man. They're crap. Now, have they changed them? I don't know. But again, that's four crankbait rods. All right, guys, listen. It's beer 30. I'm going to take you in here to get me a beer. And, oh, God, I just run into the wall. And I'll come back and I'll go back on all the questions that we have. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, basically, we're going through every stinking... you like watermelon? I do, man. Put a little bit of salt on that bad boy. Good. God, I'm gonna... I didn't break it. Hey, check this out. You guys that are on Instagram and stuff, check my deck. Now, I'm your typical redneck. That's my mom and dad's house right there. But this is my deck. There's my green pool. My granddaughter says that's where Aquaman pees, but I'm going to clean that out and get that done. So, yeah, man, check it out. Got the fans. Got the furniture. Got me a little breakfast nook I got put up over here. That's my son-in-law's. And Lorena loves that because, man, you can swat some bugs. That thing pops. It's crazy. But anyway, got the deck done. Big shout out to my boy Michael Hensley for that. This is the laundry room. This is for my wife. No, I'm kidding. You know the bad thing about it is I do most of the dishes in the laundry. Damn woman. All right. I got my Yeehaw 80. Wait. Yeehaw 80. Not sponsored. Guys, I'm just going to be on here all night, man. Just sitting here. I ain't got nobody else to talk to, so I'm going to talk to y'all. You know. All right, let's sit down here. Whoo! Fat boy sitting down with his back problems. All right, let's go back. Yee! Or yeehaw! You need what in your life, Jared? Jared's my buddy from Kentucky. So he's definitely way more hillbilly than me. Joseph Keller, what's sold out now? I agree, country girl. TRC all the way, man. I'm telling you, they're so worth it. Yeah, they are, Mr. Milken. Very nice rod covers. What's a typical chatterbait rod then? Derek, man, I mean, man, this is something, I'll be honest with you, it's what you like. It really is what you like. You know, if I'll give you my back and forth opinion. If I'm fishing lakes that I fish, highlands reservoirs where that chatterbait is going to be open water, I do like a little bit of a softer tip rod. If I'm fishing over grass, I'm going with something like a medium heavy, something that I can pop through that grass with a fast to extra fast tip, depending on how thick the grass is. So, you know, there's no real typical in anything, you know. Let's see, hold on. Oh, man. Well, you know what, Joseph, right now, dude, I mean, it's all sold out. I just stumbled across the YouTube video the other day where they were talking about we're getting ready to have a chicken and another beef and pork shortage. But the problem is it's not that we don't have enough chickens and that sort of stuff and eggs. All right, best umbrella rig rod. I got two. And I'll give you my honest opinion. I won't say, in my opinion, what's the best rod, but I will give you my opinion. Bart Harris, big spoons, baby. What are you even talking about? But you just said big spoons, and I'm all in. I'm in. I'll do it. Whatever you want, wherever you want me to go. Best umbrella rig rods. Let's see what I've got here. Hold on. Let me get to that. What up, North Fork? Guys, you want somebody to custom paint you some crankbaits? Go look at my boy, North Fork Fishing 12. Okay? Look him up on Instagram. Look up the sexy he puts out there. All right? He's the man. And if you don't see him in the comment section, my boy Richard from Bass Munitions, he says he's definitely on the mend. Definitely, not well enough yet to start putting orders in. I know you guys miss him. I know I miss him. But, hopefully he'll be back soon on that. North Fork, man, look at you call me out. There's definitely a lot of talking and not quite enough cleaning. But, hey, it's 8 o'clock, man. Got all night. Anyway. What's up, Chicken Fried Steak? Howdy from Central Cali. What is up, Central Cali? Yeah, I know, man. Tackle Junkie. It's probably, the bad part about it is every time Tackle Junkie talks about something when it's sold out, it probably ain't us buying it. It's him that's bought it all. He's probably got it all in his tackle room. I do need a few more big spoons, Bart. I'm running a little bit low. Those things like the bottom, I know you know. IL Fishing. Bet you will not give me a lure. If I do a giveaway at the end of this, we might do a giveaway. We might dig through all this stuff and find some stuff that we can do a giveaway with. Man, anytime you're ready to come down now, if I'm cooking the meat, you bringing a beer. Fishing small waters. Fishing Bass Brazil, what is up? I do like Bass Pro reels. Yeah, they are made in the same factory as Lou's. I do have some of the newer ones. There are some differences. It just depends on which versions you go with. I do like them, and I've got several. Yeah, everything, and Clayton and I may have missed something there. We do all need more spoons, Gary. I agree. And by the way, if you are looking for spoons, if you guys didn't know this, Nichols did sponsor our tournament series this year. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch that tournament series. It's a tournament or limit series, and there is a discount in the description for those big spoons, and we're going to be doing a video on that later in the year. Yeah, the Sticks rod packs. That does stink, man. But it's 90% of everything is sold out. It drives me crazy right now. And you know the thing of it is like, you know, a lot of us guys, and I know a lot of you guys don't care about the business end of this deal, but you know, some of the deal with the business end of this deal too is like, you know, a lot of deals are on hold too, but simply because companies can't keep up. And the thing about it is right now is the one thing they don't want you doing is selling more stuff for them, you know. So, you know, it is what it is, but ain't it always? I broke something. I gotta fix it. Oh! Let's see. What did it? There they are. I got so much stuff that I've got to put up, guys. It is redonkulous. Truly redonkulous. Even stuff for the house that I've got to put up. Man. Too big. Alright, I will drag some more rods and reels out. We'll get into baits here in just a minute. What the fudge? No. Really? Man. Still too big. I broke one of my rod holders off, so I didn't break it. Well, all right, more rods and reels. I think, nope. Okay. Here's one, another one of my spinning combos. This is actually rod and reel that I use for top water. If you guys seen me talk about this the other night on my live stream, this is, there's a top water stuck up in here. Let's see what we've actually got tied on here. If I'm a betting man, Oh, actually, I would have been wrong if I was a betting man. This is one of my favorite fall baits. And it's close to the bait that I was getting ready to say if I'm a betting man. This is what's tied on. These are some tiny, tiny hooks. Okay, they're dug in, but I'm going to show you this bait. This is called a Jackal Riser. Okay, this is actually a reel or a bait cover that one of my buddies made me way early on. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. I don't remember who it was that made it, but they were great, and I used them for years, but they're starting to get a little tacky. Okay, what is going on? So the riser is a wake bait, okay? It's by Jackal. It is a great fall bait. Spring bait also. Very small. When they're chasing those small shad in the fall, this is a great bait. I am a huge fan of it. I did a video on it last year. It was the first video that I have done on it because I had kind of been keeping it to myself. So, you know, and really not done, you know, I did a how-to video on it, but I hadn't really done a video where I was out catching them on it. Again, kind of kept it to myself for the past 3 years. But it is a great bait in the fall. This is the rod and reel I like to throw it on. This is 10-pound high vis yellow. I believe it's Power Pro. And this is 10 or 12-pound monofilament, just your favorite monofilament. I like low vis green. That's what I like to throw. And you just toss this out there and reel it back. This is a Halo. It is a 7-foot medium fast action rod. Yep, medium fast. Moderate, actually. It's moderate action. And this is a Lose speed spool. This is one of actually their cheaper reels, which has really done well for me. I think it's right around that $50 range. So again, another good bait. That one will probably actually go into the boat since it's a top water. Here we go. We're back to our good old crankbaits. Now this is a crankbait rod. Hold on, I've got a vacuum robot and he's starting to come in here. So this is, again, this is another one of my, this is the Guide Select Crank and Stick from Akuma. This is a 7-foot medium fast action. It can throw anything from a 3/16 to a 3/4. And again, I've got a Akuma, Helix Sx. This is a 6/4 to 1, I do believe. if I remember correctly, 6'3". No, 6'6". Smaller crankbaits, as you can see, I've got one of my frit sides on there. That's what I really like to throw on this rod and this reel. Those style of flat side balsa woods, that sort of thing. So now, as you can see, if you've been keeping up with me, we are up to 5 cranking rods. Cranking is something that, in my opinion, it's very hard to get one rod to do it all. All right. Now here's another nice little rod. I've got 6-pound fluoro on this. This is another 2500 Shimano Sierra. And this is actually one of my favorite rods and spinning rods. And it's a 7'2" medium power creature bait by 6 Gill. It really can do anything. I've got it. I'm using it for lighter drop shots and that sort of stuff right now. But to be perfectly honest, it can do about anything you want. It's just a very good all-around rod. All right, let's see what we got here. Again, get my TRC. This is another topwater. This is an old rod. Man, I bet I've had this rod forever. This is a St. Croix. I had a bunch of them, and my daughter closed my rod locker on a bunch of the tips as I was getting ready to fish I think it was like a Tuesday night rodeo one night on Boone Lake. 7-foot medium power fast action. Again, another just do it all. So this is a great example of why I like to have multiples. If you watch the live stream where I was talking about the long A and how we fish it as a wake bait, that is truly what this rod is for. So I like to have the other spinning rod that I showed you earlier with that wake bait. I like to have this one with my long A or some sort of other wake bait. Again, high vis, probably 10 or 12 pound test mono or braid, and then I've got probably 10 or 12 pound test monofilament on here. Well, that didn't work out like a plan. All right. This is actually an old spare halo rod. I think they used to sell them buy one, get one free on their website. And so this is a 6'6", medium heavy. So really good bank angling rod. You know, if you're around trees, just kind of do all sort of rod. So we're going to kind of put that one up. Okay, we got a lot more to go through, but let's take a break. Shoot the shiz. Oh my God. Tackle Junkie said it. Drink on girth. All right. Split shot or mojo rig all day. Simply because, to me, a split shot, when you're crimping it on your line, you're going to crimp it on. If you're using split shots, Most of the time, I'm going to use 2 a lot of times. I mean, you can get away with 1, but they snag a little easier. I like a Mojo rig a little bit better. I do need some more rods. Actually, we're going to unbox an Akuma rod that I got last week and still haven't even opened up. So, thank you, Brew Tank. I love the name. I love the brew. Let's see. The rod storage system is actually holding up great in there. Like I said, when I go through these, I got to get a couple lined up, a couple ready. Summertime, I love to fish, top water and, power fish out on the ledges. So a lot of the top water stuff is going to be going with me, and a lot of the ledge stuff. So the swim bait rods, we haven't even got into the swim bait rods and stuff yet. So a lot of that stuff's going to go. Well, that's a bass, and I will tell you, most of the time when you play songs on a bass, Trevor, it's like, you're like, you recognize this? And people are like, oh yeah, that sounds great. It's nowhere near the same as when you're playing with some guys. And then people are like, oh yeah. So a bass alone is always a letdown unless you can, do some sort of fancy slapping or, that sort of thing. That's true. Fishing small waters. Next episode is how to use chatterbaits and fix a leaky sink. True. Well, what it was is I walked in there, and I'm a little bit of a broader guy. So what ended up happening is I knocked off one of my little rod hangers. So it was one that I'd actually kind of drilled in too far. So luckily they've got 2 holes on them, and I've got a ton of them. You get them from Amazon for nothing. Dixie rods are great. I agree with Bart. Way to go, JB Automotive. What is that? I missed that, country girl. Update me. Good, man, JB. I'm extremely happy, brother, that I've been able to help you with fishing. Thank you. It means the world to me to hear that. I do have I've not used any of the Fury rods. I got a buddy that loves a couple there for the jigs, fishing small waters, the Dobbins Fury rods. I do have, what's their lower end rod? I've got one in here somewhere. It's I think I use it for the buzz bait. I'll get to that shortly, I'm sure. And so far, I threw that on the last fishing trip I went on, which was with Jeremy up to Big Cherry. If you didn't see the video, how much does it cost to make a YouTube fishing video? Guys, make sure you go check that out. Now, the initial number is like literally, remember, if you bought everything brand new, right? And so if you literally had nothing, you bought everything that we used in the video and went out there. So remember, that's the initial number. And then the secondary number, once you whittle it down and kind of spread the cost out over time, ended up being $400 and some change, which is, honestly, if you're taking a boat out, that's about right. I mean, by the time you buy rods, reels, baits, line, even if you, divvy it up over, 20, 30, 40 trips in a year, and everything, maybe 2-3 years if you keep certain rods and certain reels, by the time you put gas, insurance, all that stuff on, it's about I would say $400 to $500 per trip is what it ends up costing you. When you gotta think, food, drinks, all that stuff goes in. You're not gonna starve yourself out there fishing. I mean, I'm definitely not starving myself out there fishing. That's cool. Bass Munitions. taking the fruits and the basket of fruits and stuff to the ICU. Good job, brother. All right, guys, if I have missed anything, have I fished Lake P lately? No. I do plan on going there tomorrow. But I don't know that I'm going to get to fish because I've got to work tomorrow night. So, but I do have to film some videos. So I've got a mystery tackle box video I've got to film. And I don't know what the other video is going to be. Maybe a sonar video if they're out there deep, which I do expect them to be. So, Lake P is a small lake that I grew up fishing. And I call it Top Secret Lake P because it's very small. And I love to fish it during the summer. When all the Tennessee lakes get really tough, because everybody in the world is fishing out deep, like on Douglas, where I love to fish, I can kind of retreat to Top Secret Lake P. And now that's kind of changed over the past few years. People, locals know and locals talk. You know, when somebody sees that you're on that lake and they recognize it, they talk, and that's fine. I understand. That's part of the game. I love the Psycho stick. You may not have seen that, but I actually showed that. I'm using mine. I've got one, and I think that's a Psycho spinning stick that we're going to unbox here a little bit later. But, you know, I know that's part of the game. You know, people are going to see where you're at, and, you know, they're going to go fish it. So, but I try to keep that lake as quiet as I can because it is such a small lake. The whole lake is a no-wake zone, and you can fish it like a Tennessee River lake. You can fish it. You fish the ledges, and I absolutely love to do that during the summer. But you know, last summer it was really tough. It's really tough. There's a lot of people fishing the exact way they see me fishing in the videos, and that's okay. I get it. But it does make it harder for me to make videos. So, you know, it was a place where I could go and make a nice, easy video and catch fish. And now that's not the case so much anymore. But that's all right, man. I'm glad people are fishing. I'm glad people are getting out there. I'm glad people are learning things. And you know, I'm glad people are catching fish. So I just got to turn it up a notch and figure out ways to get bites that other people can't get. Or at least until they see me fishing. Oh, thank you, Jiggin' Biggins. I love a good jig. Headed to Texas Thursday. There is literally a fire truck just like hauling it up and down. No lights on. Just like drag racing in front of my house right now. Oh, Gary Yamamoto's ponds, you lucky dog. Big Cherry, stick and string, Big Cherry. I'll tell you what, Big Cherry is full of fish that big. I mean, just full of fish that big. And I was a little let down the last time I went up there, you know, before and was flipping, and me and a buddy of mine caught probably, I mean, it wasn't a lot, but we caught 40. Not the case now. What ends up happening, that lake is so high up on the mountain, it doesn't have a real creek that runs into it, so not a lot of water feeding it. They've raised it 8 feet. A lot of timber has fallen down. That timber, as it decomposes, releases carbon. That carbon uses up all the oxygen, so there's not a lot of oxygen in that lake, so the fish can't breathe. The old side, and you'll know what I mean, the old side, there's a lot, there are some grass in it, and so I think that helps But I think overall you still have that problem because there's so much timber on that side that has, you know, fallen in the water. I did notice this year that the black water has kind of started to dissipate, which could be the best thing for this lake. It was a lot clearer, which means there's a lot less decay in the water. So the more that kind of goes away and that grass comes back, I think that'll be the best thing for that lake. But as of right now, again, I can sit and say overall, the fishing on that lake is horrible. And I'm always going to get that one person that's like, you just don't know how to fish them. Well, you know, there's probably 5 good fish in the lake. All right. And that one guy that knows that catches them. So that's, you know, we all know what opinions are. All right. Let's go over what I just pulled out here. That's my multi-use. I done went over that. Okay, so somebody asked me earlier what rod and reel combo I'm using, just kind of casting jigs around right now. Okay, so this is it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not happy with it. Okay. Not that I don't like it. It's just, for me, I want something that can handle that 3/8 to say 3/4 ounce, okay? And this rod is, the tip is just a little soft for that. To be honest with you, it's a little soft for a 1/2 ounce for a jig. Again, I'm one of those guys. I like a fast, you know, tip. I want it to be a little stiff, to be honest with you. Great rods. This is the Killer Bass Bait rods. A local guy makes them. This is a Trident. I've had it for several years now. But it is a little softer. It is a great spinnerbait rod. Great spinnerbait rod. It's a good just cast and jig rod. If you're just going to cast around, you know, drag a jig around, it's good. I like for it to have a little stiffer tip. It is a medium heavy, fast. If he made a medium heavy just slightly extra fast, that's probably what I would go with on this. But I want a stiffer rod. This has got a little more bend to the tip, a little softer tip than I like. But generally, that's what I like. A medium heavy, fast rod, just a little touch on the stiffer or faster tip than this is. But it's a great rod. And of course, this is a speed spool. This is just a good old LFS speed spool. Now, it is on the higher end side, 7.5 to 1. Anything that I'm fishing in that, you know, anything that is a bottom bouncer, I'll call it a vertical bait, not a horizontal bait. So if it's coming through the water horizontal, I'm generally going to fish a slower speed reel. If it's a vertical bait, I'm going to fish as fast as I can fish. Okay, let's set this over here, because there may be some changes coming to that. Now, here's 2 rods. Oh, well, okay. This is a rod that I'm very happy with. This is this rod has tried to jump out of my boat on a couple of occasions, but thank God that the handle floats. This is my favorite swim bait combo. Kind of my go-to swim bait combo when I'm fishing ledges. And this is a Lew's. This is a Team Lew's Custom Pro. This is their ledge swim bait rod. By Mark Rose. Now, it's got a softer tip. You can cast a swim bait a mile on this. Good backbone. I paired it with the BB1 Pro. What I like about the BB1 Pro is it has both the internal centrifugal and the external magnetic dial. So you got double brakes. It's a good wide spool, as you can see. Really one of my favorite reels right here for summertime fishing, for ledge fishing. All around, doesn't matter what you're going to do with it. one of my favorite reels right here. This is a 6'5", 6'4" to 1. But I love it. That is a ledge head. That is one of my buddy Bass Munitions. That is the shad color. I like to put a little chartreuse line down the side. But this is one of my favorite combos. It is a 7'6", so you can get a good long cast out of it. Medium, heavy, moderate fast action. Love this combo right here. This is a great combo. Okay, I'm going to set that right there. We're going to set our swim bait rods right there. All right, now here's two rod and reel combos that I am honestly afraid to change and tinker with. And one of them is a Bass Pro Shops. This is the Titanium 5. This is a carbon light. Let's click that out. Or titanium, I don't know. It's Johnny Morris Titanium 8. Okay, so I bought this several years ago. This is my one of my two jerkbait rod combos. This has a tournament MP, a loose tournament MP, great reel, casts a mile. Just basically an upgraded version of the LFS, in my opinion. It's what it is. I don't know what makes it cast just a little touch better, but it does a great job. And I like this on my heavier jerk baits. Okay, so you'll see me a lot of times. It is a medium fast action. It is a 7-foot rod, and you'll see me a lot of times. This is what I'm going to throw my mega bass, my 110s, my 110s plus 1s, my 110 plus 2s. This is what I'm going to throw it on. A 6'8" to 1. That's a good sort of, turn, so you're not moving the bait with the reel handle like that. You'll see I use that 6'8" to 1 a lot in my top water too. But that is one of my two jerkbait rods. And I'm just going to set that right there for right now because, no, I'm not either. All right, where am I going to set this? We'll put this over here. Okay. I got to bring a couple more over. Like I told you guys, I understand if you can't stay here. I'm going to be here for a while. Hey, thanks, Dan Lee. What is up, brother? Thank you for the $5. All right, thank you for putting that on. I'm going to try and get some more. Now, guys, listen, if you want to support the channel, you can just do Shop Bass Geek on Google. There is, you can get stickers, shirts, coffee mugs. I'd very much appreciate that. All that just goes into me being able to buy gear so that I can review it for you guys. It helps me go out and go fishing so that I can test gear for you guys, tell you what I like. A lot of that stuff. So, and it supports the channel. Guys, listen, I don't know what's going on. Views on my channel have kind of gone way down. So pretty please share out Bass Geek for me. Kind of get the word out there if you like watching. I'm just BSing around tonight. The wife's at work. I'm at home. Gotta get the room cleaned up. And, I figure what better way to do it than just talk about my baits and stuff and talk about my rods and reels and get it all kind of put together and get it all put in the truck, right? Or the boat. And, the baits are coming up a little bit later. So if you're waiting for baits, tune back in. What's going on, Kevin Gray? any BFS baitcaster setups. Am I ever going to try any BFS baitcaster setups? I'm not even sure if I know what a BFS is. Going to be at the meeting for the church tournament Sunday. Church tourney Thursday. Probably not. I've got to work night shifts. Again, thank you, Dan, I'm sorry, D-A-N-E, okay, Lee. Thank you, Lee, very much for the $5. Bait finesse spool. You know, I've not even seen it. Oh, Shimano BFSs. Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy, by the way. I've not, I will. I plan on trying a lot more of the Shimano stuff out this year. But you guys got to, it's like I said to Tackle Junkie and Debo the other night when I was on their live stream. Guys, I just spent $5,000 on a new boat trailer and $2,000 on a brand new lower unit. So, you know, you want to help me out, buy those shirts, buy those, because, you know, I got to get that stuff paid off. So it really sucks. Big, fat, and sexy. Yeah, is that me? I've already tried that out. Woo! You know, Jesse, I just decided to jump in here. You know, I'm just hanging out. I didn't put a notification out, didn't say anything about it. Just, you know, just getting the tackle room cleaned up, and kind of wanted to show you guys a bunch of rods and reels and tackle and that sort of stuff. Now, speaking of which, getting back after it, this is the big boy crank rod right here. The big boy crank rod. This is literally dedicated to my 25 or plus. This is a 10XD on here, custom painted. I love that painted. Razor Baits painted that. You'll notice I fished quite a few of his baits this year. He does a hammering job at it. But all that being said, this is a 10XD right here. This is going to dive about 25 feet. This is a 711 fast action, heavy fast action rod. And somebody was talking about, if I like lures, that I would like the Bass Pro Shops. Well, guess what I've got? I've got the Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier 2.0, and that is what I throw on here. Now, I'm going to get ready to replace that. I want a little heavier duty reel, but this is, the rod itself is a 6-gil. I don't even think they make this rod anymore. I've went on there and looked. It is a 711 Creature, and this thing is a stick. It is heavy. It is fast. It is one of those rods that, throwing these big baits, and I love to throw them, it won't wear you out, even though it's a fast action. So, how many crank rods is that now? That is 6 crank rods. 6 crank rods, guys. That is, I know, outrageous. All right. So someone asked, what is a good Alabama rig rod? I've got 2. I've got one a little heavier, and this is one of my favorites. This is and actually I've got to replace an eyelet. I actually stepped on an eyelet, and I'm going to have to replace that, which isn't hard. I do have, I think, a video shows how to roughly do it in a hurry. But this is one of my favorite Alabama rig rods. This is a Super Duty 2. It is a custom plus loose speed stick. It's got a lot of tip to it, but you can cast these things a mile. And on here, I have 1/8 ounce heads all the way around. So, you know, it's pretty heavy. This is probably my go-to combo. It is a, let's see, I do fish 20-pound fluorocarbon on here. It's rated for Carolina rigs, big spoons, A-rigs. It is a 711 medium heavy, that's odd, medium heavy, moderate fast action rod. It's got plenty of backbone. You guys have seen pictures of me casting this, and it's literally bent completely over my body. It does a great job. It loads up. It's easy to cast. And again, one of my favorite reels of all time, the BB1 Pro. I run the 6.4 on this one. I go back and forth between a 5 and a 6. I've been messing with the 6 speeds here lately. When you're starting out, though, I would highly recommend you stay in that 5 speed on an A-rig rod. And of course, this is, I love the Shane's Baits A-rigs. So, and that's a Shane's Bait. And of course, this is my buddy Bass Munitions. This is a sour grape. This is a color on South Holston that I just love. And as always, the heads that I actually use Cumberland Pro Lure heads on my A-rigs, okay? So they're good quality. They got Gamakatsu hooks, and they're priced very nice. So that's my A-rig rod. And believe it or not, I do throw A-rigs during the summer on the ledges. That's something that gets overlooked a whole lot. A lot of people don't think about it, but that rod will definitely be in the boat. I'm gonna have to fix it though. All right, now here's a couple of new combos that I've got. Don't even have the plastic off of them yet, and not sure. I can't remember what I was going to do with these. I think one of them. Let's see. This is a frog and a swim bait rod. Let me look. 7'3", 1/4 ounce to 2 ounce. I can't remember what I was going to do with this. I think this may be, let's see, 7'3". This is a heavy. This may actually be, yes, this is actually going to be my jig, my casting jig. This is going to replace the other rod and reel. I may take that rod and reel, what was it? The Bass, damn it. Killer Bass Baits, and turn it into another spinnerbait rod. So this will actually end up being just my casting jig rod right here. Uh-oh. Now, this rod is going to be a worm rod. So, big worm rod, you know, you're gonna drag those big worms in brush piles and lay downs, that sort of stuff. This is the Carios. This is the Helix Sx reel or rod. The Carios, they actually don't make these anymore, I was told. So, so the reel is out. Again, I would suggest getting the Helix SX anyway. But this is a, hold on, bear with me. So this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action. And so, like I said, what this rod is going to be for dragging a worm during the summer. It's rated for 1/4 to 3/4 ounces. It's going to be something that I'm going to use to drag those worms through laydowns, brush piles, that sort of thing during the summer. So that's going to be my worm rod, and the other one's going to be my new. Man, I've got rods just literally falling everywhere here. Let's see. So those are a couple of rods that need to be lined up. This rod I broke the other day coming out of the house. I'm super sad about that. This was a Piscifun Torrent, which was a cheap rod, but a very good rod. A rod that I caught a ton of bass on. I was using it as a topwater rod for my regular walking baits to those, we'll call them lighter walking baits, so like the Spook Juniors. And I'll tell you what, man, I put one heck of a bag together. It's in the video. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like topwater over a 30-foot ledge. But we cracked them on this rod. So you should go check that video out. And this is actually a Piscifun Torrent reel also. So I don't know, what we'll do here. I know I do, because I'm going to have to replace this. I don't know what I'll replace it with, but we'll see. We'll see. Actually, what I may do, that's a pretty good idea, actually. What I may do is replace this rod and reel. And instead of replacing that one, because I've got a good spinnerbait rod, I may go ahead and turn that other one into a topwater rod and reel combo, that Helios. He'd be pretty good for that. So we may retire this. Guys, what do you think? I've thought about giving away, having you guys bid on some of the old rods and reels that I have. Like, of course, I'm not going to have you pay money for a broke rod. But the reel is still in good shape. I've got some. So during live streams, have you guys not really bid on them, but give them away and like say, hey, if you donate $1, I'll pick a winner at the end of it. Tell me what you think about that. I don't know. Oh, L gun, yeah, hits a pain in the rear end. Thank you very much, Botsy Boo. I am a fan of some St. Croix stuff. I know Ike really loves that kind of, a lot of Ike stuff is that, Lama glass sort of stuff. It's glass, half glass, it's composite. I'm just not a big fan of that. I'm a graphite guy myself in most cases. That's kind of what I like. Any tips for rattle traps by Peyton Kelly? My honest opinion, tips on rattle traps, it just really depends on what you're fishing. Make it erratic as you can. If you're fishing over grass, make sure you're fishing fast enough and a heavy enough rod to be able to pull free from the grass. But you definitely want to snag just enough, just enough in that grass. This time of year, honestly, I'm not fishing a trap a whole lot. If we're talking about some dirty water, possibly. But most of the time, this time of year, things begin to clear up and get clearer and clearer as we get later into the summer if we don't have any major rains. So for me, I'm only going to fish that truly most of the time if I'm around some grass. Let's see. You know what? Most bait casters are not made for light or ultra light presentations, but I will tell you this, and I'm sure it's over here in this pile of rods that I still have not gone through yet. But there is a SLXDC on a Sticks rod that is just an ultralight machine, man. It is. I've been using it for topwater poppers, and it is so dang nice. It is insane. Favorite mag draft length, and let me think if I can remember the lengths that they come in. This time of year, and it really depends on where I'm fishing, okay? I will tell you first off, when it comes to mag drafts, I am 110% the, what do they call it, the free one, where you weight them. Because I could go ahead and put a ledge head on the nose or a belly weight on the belly. But whichever ones they're in between that, they're that lower 4-5 right in there. I'll have to look it up. I can't say. But then you've got the standard size one that, what is it, 6 inch, 6 or 7, and that's a good one. But again, it just depends on the type of bait. Like if I go to Douglas, I don't mind to throw that bigger one because I know they're going to be feeding a lot on those bigger gizzard shad. But if I go to South Holston, I know there's no gizzard shad in there. I know those smallmouth are going to be feeding a lot on those thread fin, those small thread fin year round. So I'm not going to throw that big one. So, it's all about, Now, I will say this. On South Holston, there are times when you're going to want to throw a bigger swim bait because they're feeding on newly released or that year trout that they're stocking in the lake. So a little bit different there. All right, that's cool. I just appreciate you watching, Jesse. So anyway, this one we're going to retire. We may give the reel away. We'll have to see. Woohoo! Man, this room is a mess. All right. I'm trying not to break things. Okay. Here is some more. So we just talked about this. And here it is. This is the Sticks. I think this is the number 3. And this is a super finessey bait caster. I mean, you could probably throw weightless Cincos on it. I mean, it's got a nice short butt. I've got a Rico popper tied on it. This is, I did a video on it earlier this year about it being the best combo that I put together last year. This is a SLXDC. I don't remember what they retail for, $189, I think, right in that area. But I use this for top waters. And guys, this is an incredible top water rod. Let's see. This is a 7.2 to 1 reel. And the action, bear with me, it is a 7-foot moderate fast, 7-foot moderate fast rod. It is, I mean, it's got an extremely soft tip, but it's so sensitive. Again, this is a Sticks, and I'm telling you, man, such a good combo. This was my favorite combo, new combo of last year. So even though 2020 was a really crap-ass year, this was a great, great combo that I put together. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Just set that right there. Hold on, peeps. Oh man, that's all right. I'm still here. Yeah, man. Yeah, you'll be able to watch this live stream. I'll make sure it's available to rewatch it later. Like I said, I'm just hanging out, just talking about stuff. So, just kind of bored. Getting stuff together, getting stuff organized. This is my flipping stick. This is my go-to flipping stick. I think it's finally time to replace it. I told you guys earlier I've got an LFS. I would not recommend an LFS as a flipping reel, okay? It just doesn't have the drag set up. But this reel, for whatever reason, for years, guys, I've had this reel forever, and it has been amazing. So, it's been incredible. This is a Dixie Custom 7'7" meat stick. It's a heavy, fast action, but it does have just a little bit of tip, which I do like. Oddly enough, I know, in a flipping stick. Guys, it's amazing. It really is amazing. This is easily by far my favorite flipping combo. Now, like I said, this reel, it is finally time, and I would not recommend at all a loose, LFS to flip with. You need something with a little better drag than that, to be perfectly honest with you. That is absolutely not what you want to use. But for whatever reason, that one has been great. It's had a heck of a drag system on it, and it's worked incredibly. All right, let's get at this. Now, this is a rod, and this is kind of my heavier, bigger, whether it be the evergreen shower blows or the bigger walking bait top waters. This is a JB, this is a spiral guide. Let's see if I can show you this. Let's see. So see, the reel's upright, but this is a spiral guide rod. So the rods literally wrap around. And so this is my top water for my heavier top waters. And again, another LFS, 6'8" to 1. This is a JB Customs Stinger. And love this rod, guys. I mean, it's really incredible. The one thing that I had to learn, because it's a little stiffer than the Torrent, it was just to give them a minute longer with the bait. But this is a 7-foot medium fast action rod. So, but it's great. It's an incredible rod and reel combo. This the LFS cast a mile 6/8 to 1. Great for walking baits. I truly do love that. Love that speed. Set that over here with my top water casting reels. Now here, actually I moved this. This is my spinnerbait rod. And this is a Dobbins Colt series. This is their cheaper rod. It's under $100, and I've got an LFS on it too. And it is what I've been using for my spinnerbaits. Love this rod so far. It's got a little bit of a tip to it. I've caught some good fish on it. It is a medium heavy fast action. Maybe just a touch too much tip, honestly, for a spinnerbait rod. Depends on how you like them. So far, I've been impressed with it. I can't say anything. This is again, the LFS in a 6/8 to 1, and I throw anywhere from most time 12 to 15 pound test on this fluorocarbon. Which is what I like. And you know, guys, again, it's summertime for me, so a lot of times, you know, the spinnerbait and the chatterbaits, they tend to go up. Alright, so I told you I got 2 jerkbait rods. This is my lighter jerkbait rod. I've almost always got some sort of Rapala shadow wrap on it. So it's either going to be the shadow wrap or the shadow wrap shad. Most of the time it's the deep. So I get down a little bit deeper. This is one of my favorites, guys. This is a Fitzgerald Versa. It is a medium moderate action. 7 foot, and this is the Lew's Custom Pro. Man, 6/8 to 1. I love this thing. I will fish jerkbaits generally 8 pounds or 10 pounds. I just like to get them down there a little bit deeper. But the Rattle or Rapala, whatever you want to call them, they're a little lighter. They're a lighter. This is a little bit of a lighter jerkbait setup that you can get a really great cast out of. Love these things. And a tip for you, for most of you, say from my, you know, part of the country up, when you get into post spawn, they love to get in those trees before they move out on those deep areas. And when they get into those laydowns and those brush piles, running a jerkbait over top of those can get you destroyed. This is my other, because, guys, I fish a lot of clear water, so why I say I put up a spinnerbait this time of year is because the water clears up and it gets more and more clear. We get out there deeper and deeper. This is my other go-to swim bait rod for bigger swim baits, that 6 inches, 5, 6 inches and above. This is a 6-gill Creature, 7.3, medium heavy, fast action, good rod. I've caught a ton. If you go back and look over the years, I've caught a ton of good fish on this rod and this reel combo. This is, again, another Daiwa. This is the R-type. They don't make them anymore. And this is the same one that I was telling you about. I've got about 6 of them. But the side plate loves to I don't know if it's just the vibration, but that side plate loves to come loose. You'll get it, and you'll make a cast, and you'll start reeling, and you'll just hear this, you'll just feel this kind of grind, and you'll think, daggone, I need to clean this. And then you'll look at it, and there'll be a tiny little gap, and that's what it is. There's a tiny gap that needs to be, that needs you to screw it back down again. Now this is my big boy. I can throw anything from the, I think that's the 168 right there, the S-Waver, all the way up to the 9-inch. This is my big, swim bait combo. I've got a Lose Super Duty Speed Spool. It is a 6-4-1. It is the wide spool, so that I can get a nice long cast. This rod, let's see. You know what? I don't even know what this rod is or who makes this rod. This is a Daiwa DXSB 801 HFB. This is a daggone good rod for throwing big swim baits. It is an 8-foot, heavy, and it can handle anywhere from 2 to 8 ounces. I throw 20-pound fluorocarbon on this reel. This is Lose swim bait reel, and I really, really like it. I had one of the big Shimano's on there previously. Hated that thing. Love this from Lose. Does a great job. And like I said, I'll throw the big bull shad, the big 9-inch swim baits, 9-10-inch swim baits. This can handle them very well. Again, not really a summertime thing for me around here. All right, let's see. Here is my buzz bait rod, and this is a sticks rod. Okay, this is sticks number 5. This is a 7'4", medium heavy, fast action. Would make a very good casting jig, a very good spinnerbait rod. This rod would make, could do about anything. It's a great all-around rod itself. Again, I've got it with one of the Daiwa R-types. This is a little higher speed. No, I'm lying to you. This was actually sent in to me by one of you guys after I fell off the boat last year. This is one of the, what are they called? The CTs. Yes, this is one of the CTs. So I have not had any problems out of these. These have been great reels. The CTs have been great reels. And I think this is an 8. Bear with me. Yeah, 8-1-1, which I love for a buzz bait. You know, you throw it out there, you stop before it hits the water. I mean, you just have to turn your reel handle. Now, I like to fish a buzz bait slow, so you do have to slow down a little bit. But this is a great combo. The sticks, this is their, like I said, their number 5. It is a great buzz bait combo. Love it. We're going to set it over here with the top waters. Now, this is my small swim bait rod. You've seen me in the last tournament video, the last limit video, catch our kicker largemouth on this exact bait, which is a Kitech Tennessee shad. It is a ledge head. That is a 3/8 ounce ledge head with a 3/0 hook in it. Okay, 3.3 Kitech in Tennessee shad. And this is just the cheapest. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but it's a laser SG1 speed stick. I will tell you, it's, as far as feel goes, it's pretty dead. This is one of those that I wouldn't super recommend, but it does a great job with the horizontal baits. Once you feel it load up, you can set the hook on it. So, you know, it is what it is. That's kind of what I've put it for. It is a medium action fast, or medium power fast action. I don't know that I'd go there. It's a little stiffer than that in my opinion. But again, this is also a CT, okay? And this is a 6.3. And so good reel. Good speed. I love a 6.3 for swim baits. That's kind of my go-to, 6.3, 6.4. Do not like to go over that, to be absolutely honest with you, because if you're fishing swim baits, it's slow as you can go. And if you think you're going too slow, then slow down more, because you're not going slow enough. But this is a very good rod, and I do use it throughout the year. Now, this is another Dixie. This is actually their tight line special, and I do tight line with it. But I'll tell you what, guys, it will do about anything. I love to throw shaky head Ned rigs. I love to throw, as you can see here, weightless Senkos. So I've got a 3/0 Senko here. This is their 3B. It is a 7'4", medium, moderate, fast tip. And I've got that paired with a loose speed spin, which is like, I mean, one of their cheapest spinning rods out there. I love it. I mean, I love it. I've got 2 of these right here, and they are great. All right, let's set this out here because I really don't know, like, I take some spinning rods with me, but I don't take a whole lot of spinning rods with me during the summer because, like I said, I get to fish the way I like to fish, which means I get to power fish. So, all right, this is it, the last group of rods. The last group of rods. All right, this is probably my favorite all-around spinning rod combo right here. This is my fish sticks. Mr. Gary Milken knows a lot about that. This is a fish sticks. This is a custom rod. Guys, they make great rods. You should go check them out. Give them a call. And this is one of the higher end Lew's, which I've already wore the paint off of it, so I can't even tell you which Lew's it is. I think it's a Custom Pro or something like that. That reel is great, but this is a medium, heavy, fast action, and it does everything. As you can see, I've got a flick shake tied on, a weighted wacky rig, basically. But this is kind of my do-all. This will absolutely be in the boat with me because it can do so much, so much. Such a good rod, such good feel that it's incredible. This is another topwater rod. This is my floating worm rod. And this is another sticks rod. So that is the number 2, if you can see it. And as you can see, I've got good old, the pink stick bait. That's from, that bait is a 0, I believe, by Strike King. It's the Elastec style, kind of like the Z-Man stuff. This rod is a 7.2 medium fast. Again, a good all around. That 7.2, when it comes to spinning rods, a 7 foot to a 7.3 medium fast action can do about anything. I mean, it really can. And that's kind of where this rod is. It's a little bit longer, 7'2". Skips this thing great. I can get a nice little skip out of it. This is actually an old Pfluger President Series, which I'm not a big fan of, because this screws the same way that you turn, and it has a bad tendency to back out. So that reel will probably be replaced eventually. Now, what's funny is that, what is this? All right. So apparently this is my underspin rod. I don't know what I'm thinking. This is my favorite underspin rod. Now this is the Killer Bass Baits Trident. It's the same as the rod that you've seen me talking about earlier. That's my cast and jig rod. This thing, again, coupled with the Speed Spool 6-4-1, the BB1 Pro, I'm telling you, this is an incredible smaller underspin. Now, I've got a small swim bait on it. It'll work great for that. This is a medium heavy, 7'3". Almost always there's an underspin tied on this. It is, I have caught so many fish on that combo right there. All right, let's see. All right, so this is actually my favorite. This rod and reel combo right here is actually my go-to Demiki rig combo, but I've got a Ned rig on it right now. It's a great drop shot combo. This rod is actually made for drop shots. It is the drop shot combo custom speed stick from Lew's. It is a, let's see, moderate light power, but extra fast tip. Now, Lew's ranks their stuff just kind of weird, to be honest with you, because this has got plenty of backbone and that extra fast. When I'm using this for Demiki rigging, I'm generally dropping like a 3/8 ounce, and so it's so deep. I like that the tip comes up, because when they bite it and you set the hook, they love to come up on you, so that tip likes to keep up. But it also, really, this combo, and again, I tell you, this is my favorite Lew's spinning rod, which is the Crush. Not the Orange Crush, it's just the Crush. I think it's about $100 reel, but it is just a beast. But this is great. You can see I throw a heavier Ned rig on it. It's a great drop shot combo. That is also one of those combos that can just really do anything. Ah, yes, another crankbait combo. Okay, this is kind of my do-all crankbait rod. If I had to tell you to get one crankbait rod, you're not going to throw the big ones. This crankbait rod right here and this combo has really been kind of the go-to. Now, I've got a 6XD on it right now. This is the Lew's Custom Magnum Crankbait Rod 3, okay? Again, BB1 Pro. This is a 6-4-1. This is a, let's see, it is a medium heavy, moderate action rod, and it can handle anything from a 1/2 ounce up to 1 3/8 ounces. Guys, this rod and reel combo right here can cast about any crankbait you want to throw, and it'll throw it a mile. This is my go-to crankbait setup. So that is 7 crankbait setups. Now, I said I have another A-rig combo. This is an old A-rig combo. This is, again, a Super Duty wide spool from Lew's. It is a, I think it's a 6'4", 6'4" to 1. And this is an old, they don't make it anymore. And the only one that I like, because I had like 5 or 6 of them, but the Abu Garcias, the Veritas, every single one broke on me. Every single one. Now, they might have updated them. They might be better now. But when I bought them 3, 4, 5 years ago, junk. So this is the one. And actually, this one, the tip broke off on it. I replaced the tip on it. But this is actually an A-rig rod that they came out with. It is 7'9" heavy. It can handle up to 3 ounces. And of course it's a fast action. But this is kind of my heavy, like if I want to put, some 1/4 ounce heads on, this is my heavy. If I want to get it down deeper, this is my heavy A-rig combo, which could very well be going to the lake with us. All right, here's another 6-gill creature, 7'2". This is a little stiffer. I like it. It's got a shorter butt on it, but this is a 7'2", and this is the other. This is a great shaky head rod. I really like this for shaky heads. I like to throw the magnums 90% of the time. And again, this is the Lew's. They're cheaper, just speed spin, reel. I got it just last year. They are great reels. 7'2", medium action. Great rod. It's my shaky head rod. Tends to be what I have on that rod all the time. This is my frog rod, which I know you don't see me throw a whole lot. But this is a Dixie Custom. This is their frog stick. It is a 7'2", extra fast tip. Great rod. This is a Tournament MP. Little higher end LFS version. Got some good drag on it so you can really wrench them out. Love those paddles on that thing. But Dixie Pro, this is my frog rod. Now, I love, and around where I live at, to skip those popping frogs up under trees. Don't know if I'll be doing a lot of that right now, though. So, we'll set it in there, out of the way. And the last rod and reel combo of the night. Here is my St. Croix. Somebody asked me about my St. Croix. Here's another old St. Croix. I don't even know the name of this. Premier. St. Croix Premier. 7 foot, 7'3". No, 7 foot, medium, fast action. Again, just another good all around. I love to use this. I've got it coupled with a Sierra 3000, Shimano 2500 or 3000, and this is kind of my small swim bait rod. Really finessey swim bait rod. Oh, shoo! Guys, I'm so just going through all that, man. I'm so tired. Ugh. Yeah, I don't get to throw a frog a whole lot up here. It really does suck. there's no grass, you know. It just blows. So, you know, is what it is. Somebody trolling, we'll kick them off and block them. I don't give a dang. There we go. We got rid of them. Just getting off work. You're still live. Take a drink, baby. That's my second beer down. TJ. Yeah, I'm just now getting through all my daggone rods and reels. I got to put some stuff up. So, but, Shoeless Ray, what is up, brother? Oh, I hope you're still on here and at least you heard that. Gosh, man, I miss you. You need to call me sometimes. All right, guys, let's talk for a minute. I'm tired of messing with reels and rods. I banned one. Who earned a ban? All right, what's going on? I know, man. All the time. All the time. You down there salt watering it up now. I don't even know how to spell salt. I know how to put it on some watermelon in my fridge, though, if everybody's been here since then. Look at this hair, boys and girls. I got to get a haircut. How you like that? I look like some sort of mad professor right now, don't I? All right, yeah. I seen the dude with the, yeah. Punjabi mother. I better quit. I get demonetized for hate speech. But anyway, that is my rods and reels. I got to get some lined up. I got to get some swapped out. I got to get some changed out. And I swear to you, man, I mean, you just ought to see this mess. I mean, it is a mess. I don't even know. But I got to get some of them put out in the yard, in the boat. So, you know, it is what it is. But, well, mine ain't from being locked down. My wife, who is a restaurant management, general management, she normally cuts my hair, but, you know, getting her to want to do that is, you know, pretty rare because she's working her little fanny off most of the time. And so I end up with, you know, the mop, which at this point, the wife likes, because what you can't see with this hair right now is that it's really curly. You know, I've had it under the hat all day, but I mean, you throw like one touch of water on it and it's like, and she likes that. I like short, manageable hair, and during the summertime, I use a drop shot quite a bit. But anyway, the wife wants me to let it grow out and, you know, fix it and all that crap. And so I don't know. I'm doing it for her. I'd say it's always one all the way. I don't know. One. That's pretty short. How often do I throw a drop shot? I throw a drop shot quite a bit, especially during the summer. You know, that's a very overlooked when those ledge fish get a lot of pressure. That drop shot is a very overlooked way of catching them. Summertime is a tough time to catch them on Norris. I won't lie. There's some great fishing during the spring in that lake. And that's one of those lakes I'd like to come down and do some deep, kind of scanning for these fish to see where they're at and where they're set up at. It's on Norris. See if we can't find them out there deep. Now, during the summertime on Norris, I'll tell you, docks are a big, big player. So just remember that too. That's right. Whatever my wife wants my hair to be during fishing season, she's got it. I don't care a bit. Favorite lure? It's always going to be a swim bait. Probably about a 5 or 6 inch swim bait. Well, I thought I had one sitting here. Something like those. That's the Ghost from Bass Munitions. You'll see me throw that. We were talking about Top Secret Lake P earlier, and you'll see me throw that bait a whole lot on that lake. They tend to really love it. Clear water, that color, largemouth, smallmouth, man, it's unbeatable. Woo! Well, that's another reason why North Fork. That's another reason why I love to, I really wanted to get my my boat trailer because I want to do some traveling, and Florida, is one of those places I want to go. So definitely one of those places I want to go. I agree, country girl. He is a lucky dog. Let's murder him. I'm sorry. Do not murder my friend. Yeah, Texas is on the list. I know you went on here earlier, but, I kind of got, because I'm trying to finish the house up, I was actually going to go to Texas. I think it was like the 21st through the something or other, the 24th. Going to be down there fishing Lake Fork for Akuma, and ended up having to back out because, I got to be here to, get some stuff done. But once it's done, the house should be done. The house should be done once this last little week of work comes in. It should be done. The grass should be growing. The land should be scaped. And hopefully, we're done with it all. You'd make a good one. Akuma should check you out. I got to work. No, I don't know. I haven't decided where I'm going to go this weekend. Actually, I'm off. I go back to work tomorrow night. I've got to get out tomorrow before work and get a couple of videos shot. But I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to go. Probably going to go to Douglas. My favorite tackle box storage brand is Flambeau, the Z-Rust Max. As a matter of fact, you can see there's a god-awful amount of them. So, down there, up there, up there. So, yeah. I am a firm believer in the Z-Rust Max stuff. I was a firm believer in the Z-Rust, which I have a ton of, and a huge fan of the Z-Rust Max stuff. No, Gary, I'm not tagging in for that one, bro. I'm off. I pulled my night shifts last week, this weekend, and then I'm right back at it. I get one whole day off, and I'm right back at it tomorrow night. So, no, I'm not tagging in. I'm drinking and organizing. Not much organizing. I'm drinking and talking for the most part. Best banks to throw from the summertime. Summertime baits from the bank, it never really changes. I mean, you're going to throw, you know, as it gets hotter, you're going to throw things that are going to target cover, you know, whether that be grass, so it can be chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, um, underspins, you know, oh God, what are they called? I got a bunch of them. Anyway, the weedless underspins, that sort of stuff, you know, uh, in grass, in wood, you're going to be spinner baits, weedless, swim jigs. Don't want to leave that out on both sides. Um, you know, square bills, your shallower diving baits, some small, that sort of stuff. Top waters, um, popping frogs if you don't have a lot of grass, walking frogs if you do have a lot of grass, or just, you know, twitching frogs. Um, you know, and then, you know, worms, Senkos, Ned rigs, Texas rigs, and that soft plastics. Let's just say soft plastics in general, drop shots. Um, you know, it's not going to change a whole lot. Go up in size a little bit on those worms. They'll be more than welcome to eat that big fat flashy swimmer. Thank you, Marshall. Uh, that big steak as opposed to that little bait. But again, match the hatch, you know. The little green worm on a drop shot is fire, bro. You are exactly right. No, not a tournament. You know, I've got so much stuff right now. I'm organizing from the tournaments. How's that? All of this stuff right here is all stuff from the tournaments. You know, it's all just crap that, you know, I've come in and just thrown in the room and not either not hung back up or not put back in, you know, all this, you know, you can see stuff beside here and all this stuff. So this is all I'm organizing from the tournaments. Tournament season is pretty much over. We did make the classic. Me and AJ did make the classic. We're going to get to fish for $30,000 in October. $30,000 for first place, guys. Man, think about that. 2 days. It's going to be fun. We're going to be fishing Cherokee Lake, so that's going to be a good time. If I was fishing Norris right now, I would absolutely have these 5 or 6 swim bait rods. I mean, I'd take, that's what I'm putting in the boat right now. I'm taking all of my ledge gear and putting it in the boat, all the summer gear. So I'm taking all that spring stuff out, and I'm taking all my top waters. If I, you know, I'd be flipping docks, even throwing spoons around docks and marinas and houseboats. I'd be graphing out deeper, trying to find those deep humps and deep points that those largies, and there's plenty of largies in that lake, are going to stay on. The other thing is I'd run up the rivers. The rivers, there's 3 things in the summer you want to key on. You want to catch more fish during the summer, I'm going to give you 3 things to look for. Look for these 3 things. If you find 1, it's great. If you find 2, it's better. If you find 3, you've just made bank, okay? Deep, okay? Deep, cool, more oxygen, all right? Grass, current. So you're around where I live at, there's no grass, so that's kind of out. So you're either going up the river or you're staying on the main lake and you're fishing deep. Deep in the clear section of deep water you can find. You go up the river, you fish that current, that river, you're going to find them up there. So, and I mean, when I say up the river, go as far as you can go. As far as you can go. So that's what you're going to be looking for. Cherokee Lake, Tennessee, not Oklahoma. Well, I'll tell you what, you tell me how to make a living off of fishing, and I'll tell you and we'll both do it because, you know, I did a video talking about the price of YouTube and how the price of making videos, and I'll be the first to tell you I do not make enough money to make a living off of it. The other thing is I probably could do it if I would quit my job completely, which that's a, you know, considering that I've just built a house, that's a scary thing to even think about, and start pumping out videos regular. If I had nothing else to focus on than making videos and fishing, and I could put 3 to 4 to 5 videos out a week, holding people's attention is what YouTube is all about. Consistency. And what I mean by consistency is making sure you're putting out those videos at the exact same time, all the time, every single week, whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 5. That's a huge, huge key to YouTube. I've not had a chance to try the scorpion baits. Nathan or Jeremy McDuffie? I'm not sure. I want to say yes. The Dobbins rods are good. Now, here's the thing. This time of year, when it comes to those big swim baits, okay, you got to make sure you're throwing those baits where those bass are going to be shallow. Those baits will call them up, but I don't know if summertime, unless you're fishing a shallower lake, something that's got some grass or got some, you know, where those fish are going to be up shallow. The best time to learn how to fish those baits are spring and fall. Okay, those big glide baits. If you're just starting, the other thing that I would recommend highly, the 2 baits that I would recommend highly is, of course, the bull shad and, you know, the S-Waver. The bull shad and the S-Waver, the 168 on the S-Wavers are great. It's not an open water glide, so you're going to want to make sure you're throwing it around and over stuff to get them to come up out of it. The bull shad in the spring can be so fire. I mean, it's crazy. But you work it so totally different. You really truck it, you know. Go back and rewatch this. I showed you I've got a Tatula rod. That's a great rod from the 168 to the 9 and 10 inch. Go check that rod out. Rewind this. Do whatever it is you do. God, I'm old. I said rewind. Is it still called rewinding? I don't know. Slide back. I don't know. I don't know that I've seen the cool baits underspin. My favorite underspin, and it is for open water, it's probably the